Have you ever made a mistake that you wish you could erase? One of those choices that plays over and over in your mind, the kind that changes everything? That's the moment where Eve's story begins. She lived in Eden, a place of pure beauty, a garden filled with every kind of tree, bursting with fruit, flowing rivers, peace, and closeness with God. No pain, no shame, just joy. It was paradise. And in the middle of that perfection, God gave one boundary. You may eat freely of every tree except this one. It was a simple limit, a way to trust him. But then came the voice of the serpent, subtle, questioning. Did God really say you can't eat from any tree? He twisted God's words, planting doubt in Eve's heart. He told her the fruit would make her wise, that she wouldn't die, that God was holding something back from her. She looked. She wondered. She reached out. The fruit felt smooth in her hand. She took a bite and Adam joined her. And just like that, the peace shattered. Suddenly, their eyes were opened, but not in the way they hoped. Shame covered them like a flood. They saw themselves differently. They saw each other differently. They scrambled to sew leaves together, desperate to cover what they had lost. And when God came near, they hid. Can you imagine? Hiding from the very one who had given them life. Fear replaced intimacy. Guilt replaced joy. But then comes the moment that changes everything. God calls out, "Where are you?" That's not the cry of a God ready to destroy. It's the voice of a father who comes searching. He didn't ask because he didn't know. He asked because he wanted them to know. He still wanted them. He still saw them. Yes, consequences followed: pain in childbirth, toil in work, separation from the garden. Sin entered the story, but so did grace. God made garments of skin to cover their shame, a sign that he would not leave them exposed. And in his words to the serpent, he gave a promise. One day, a child of Eve would come, a savior. He would crush the serpent's head, even as the serpent struck his heel. That was the very first whisper of the gospel hope, spoken into the middle of failure. Eve's story didn't end with her mistake. She went on to become the mother of all living. And her life, though marked by pain, also carried the seeds of redemption. And maybe that's what her story still tells us today. That failure is never the end when God is involved. That even in our worst moments, he covers, he redeems, he restores. Think about it. The very first woman, the very first mistake, and right there, God already began the story of salvation. If he can turn Eve's fall into the starting point of his redemption plan, then he can take whatever broken place you're carrying and weave it into something beautiful. Eve reminds us that God's love doesn't stop at our failure. It meets us there. It clothes our shame, and it points us forward to Jesus, the one who came to crush the serpent once and for all. So when you feel like you've gone too far, remember this: grace always has the last word. Even in failure, God's plan of redemption begins.